With the Denver Broncos dishing out contract extensions like candy on Halloween, everybody is wondering who is going to be that next guy to get his payday here in the Mile High City. The Broncos over the bye week extended Will Lutz, Luke Wattenberg, and Malcolm Roach. Everybody has been talking about John Franklin Myers as the next player to get paid by the Denver Broncos. He is set to become an unrestricted free agent at the end of this year. JFM has said that he does not expect the Broncos to re-sign him ahead of free agency. He expects to hit the open market. He is still interested in returning to Denver, but the Broncos are going to have to pony up a lot of dough if they want to keep him here. Realistically, Denver knows that he's probably going to get a large payday elsewhere. They've got other position groups that they need to invest that money in. They've been preparing for life without John Franklin Myers since last year's draft when they selected Savion Jones. Jones is a very similar player in terms of build and play style, so they're hoping that he can slide in as a possible starter next year. With the Malcolm Roach extension, he's possibly in line to get more playing time in the event of a John Franklin Myers departure. Then there's another player who might be in line for a contract extension. He's not going to be a free agent until 2026, but he's been playing some really good football for the Denver Broncos on the defensive line, and I think the team might want to reward him for his hard work, and that is Ini Uwazurike. Really cool story. Drafted by the Nathaniel Hackett regime in 2022, he got a gambling suspension in 2023, so he missed his first season with Sean Payton and a new coaching staff in the building, but they still recognized the talent that he had. They reinstated him in 2024, and he started to see more and more playing time as the season went on. This year, he has been a key part of the rotation on the interior defensive line, and he has been uber productive. Let's go ahead and bring in this page here from Pro Football Focus. This is the Broncos' run defense report on the season. If you'll see here, in terms of defensive linemen, Uwazurike actually has the most run defense stops on the team. That's really cool. And his run defense stop percentage is also the best amongst defensive linemen and the best amongst players who actually see playing time on defense. The only guy who's higher than him is Karene Reed, who has just 4 snaps on defense. Even though Ini is only playing 132 snaps, or he's only played 132 snaps so far on run defense, he has made the most of it. In terms of pass rush, he does need to get better in that area. His numbers in the pass rush department are really nothing to write home about. Just 5 total pressures on the season. He has gotten some sacks, which is good, but his win percentage is still quite low. Realistically, Uwazurike, he's more of a run defender, a guy that you play on early downs. Malcolm Roach is a really good pass rusher. He's somebody that can help collapse the pocket from the interior, and they're hoping Savion Jones can do that as well. Collectively, all 3 of these players, in theory, will replace the production that JFM is going to leave when he departs in free agency. Do I still think there's a chance that the Broncos bring back John Franklin Myers? Yes, I do. But more realistically, they're going to invest that money into other positions, and they can bring back Ioma Uwazurike on a pretty reasonable deal. I imagine he'd get something similar to what Malcolm Roach got. 4 years, $48 million, $12 million a year. That's going to be a really good value, especially as the seasons go on and inflation starts to happen in terms of these defensive line contracts. That's going to look like a massive steal really quickly for Ioma Uwazurike, who's becoming one of the better run defenders in the NFL. The Broncos have had some issues stopping the run, especially in that last game against Washington, but it got better as the game went on because Uwazurike saw more snaps and he was helping stuff things at the line of scrimmage. I'm hoping he gets more and more snaps as the season goes on. I've talked about this many times. Once you get into the playoffs, you're going to have to deal with teams who run the football. The Buffalo Bills are a really scary matchup for the Denver Broncos because of the way they run the football. But Uwazurike could be a big secret weapon for this team in terms of stopping the run up front at the line of scrimmage. You're still going to have to deal with runs that are bounced to the outside, but that's where your DBs come in, and Denver's one of the better teams out there in terms of their DBs making tackles in the run game. So Ioma Uwazurike, I think Denver is kind of saving the best for later on in the season with him when they know his game is going to be super valuable in the playoffs. When it's cold, the wind is blowing, it's going to be hard to pass the ball, and teams are going to rely on running the football. If the Baltimore Ravens somehow make the playoffs, that's another team that runs the football at a really high level. The Patriots, they can run the football. We'll probably end up seeing them at some point in the playoffs. My point is, if you're going to win in the playoffs, you're going to have to play well in the run game on both sides. Meaning, you're going to have to run the ball well, and you're going to have to stop your opponent's run game well. And Ioma Uwazurike is going to be a big piece for the Denver Broncos doing that, both in this season as well as moving forward. So, John Franklin Myers, they may or may not get him back, but no matter what happens, I think Uwazurike is going to get a contract extension, and I also believe he's going to be in line for a more extended role on defense. So I'm curious about your thoughts on this Broncos country. Do you think that Ini Uwazurike is in line for a more extended role? And I know some people are going to ask, I should mention this as well before we get out of here. The reason why Uwazurike is set to be a free agent in 2026, even though he was a draft pick, a fourth-round draft pick in 2022, is because his contract told after his gambling suspension. So that gambling suspension in 2023 did not count as a year on his contract. He's not going to be a free agent until 2026, as opposed to everybody else in his draft class who is a free agent in 2025. So just wanted to clarify that. Be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, Broncos country. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. Additionally, if you want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. I would really appreciate it. It's not mandatory, but if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out and helping the channel grow, the link is in the description below. And until next time, guys, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.